Are you absolutely nailing the very first phone call when Zillow Flex calls you with an opportunity? Really think about that for a second, right? I'm going to break it down for you. The first video on this channel, I thought it would be appropriate to do something centered around, the most important part, right? Actually taking the phone call. So we're going to do exactly that. So in this scripting, right, there's 5 different acronyms that we apply here at A.L.M.S.S. There's A.L.M.S.S, right? So appointment, location, motivation, summarize, and then survey, right? Very important that you hit all 5. So appointment specifically, right? You guys got to remember that the consumer is calling in and requesting to see a specific house. Why would we not nail that the very first thing, first and foremost, before we do anything? So I understand you're interested in checking out 123 ABC Street. That's a fantastic house. When would you like to check it out today? Right? Regardless if they said Sunday at 3 o'clock or tomorrow at 4 o'clock, whatever it may be, you guys would be shocked at how often the consumer just goes, oh yeah, today at 3 o'clock, right? It's a very common answer. So we're always shooting for that appointment right out of the gate and today. We're not going to delay that in any way, shape, or form, right? We're moving along, we're having a great conversation with the consumer, and we're going to come to additional properties that the consumer would like to see. I understand you want to check out this property on Main Street. Are there any other properties that you saw online that you would like to check out, right? Reason being is, we're not pulling this out of the woodwork, right? Our data shows us that the average consumer sees 5 to 7 properties before they actually write an offer, right? There is nothing worse than showing a consumer 50 different times in a million different properties, right? If we have the ability to kind of knock a couple out on that first showing, we're totally going to take it. So which additional properties would you like to see, if any, right? Next, we're moving along down. We're on the motivation track now. So what about that property did the consumer like specifically, right? There's always going to be something, and sometimes you have to dig a little bit for it. Consumers will give you an answer like, oh, I like the fact that it was 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It's like, duh, right? Every house in this entire neighborhood is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, right? So digging a little bit into it and giving them a specific reason why. So I can pull up additional properties for you, Bill. Were there any other properties, or what did you like about this one specifically, so that I can go and find other ones that we can tour, right? We're building some value. Next question, we're moving down the pipe to motivation and what they actually are looking at as far as time frame goes. Way we do that is very specific. The example I want to give you is, imagine if you called a used car dealership, right? And you call and say, hey, I want to come out and check out this car. And the very first thing the guy says to you on the phone is, when do you see yourself buying a car, right? It automatically makes us pump the brakes. We feel like we're being pressured. We don't like that. So instead, what we're going to do is frame it very delicately. Hey, so I'm moving at your pace, Mr. Consumer. Is there a specific date that you need to be in a property by, or do you have a little bit more flexibility in your home search? What that ends up doing is creating an environment where it's collaborative, right? You're trying to meet the consumer's expectations, and they're not going to pump the brakes and feel the pressure at that point, right? Next, most importantly, we're going to summarize the entire phone call after we've gotten everything done. We want to give the consumer a definitive, clear-cut idea of what's going to happen next, right? Way we do that is by summarizing it. So here's what I'm going to do after this call, Mr. Consumer. I'm going to reach out to the seller to confirm that this showing time works for them at 3 p.m. tomorrow. I'm also going to send you a text message over with all of my contact information. So if you see any other properties, or if you have any questions that pop up between now and our appointment, you know exactly how to get a hold of me. I'm also going to shoot you over a couple other properties that fit what you're looking for, so that we can go from there. How does that all sound, right? We're summarizing it. Intrinsically, as humans, we do this thing called catastrophizing, right? Where we make situations up in our head when they're unknown and they get way worse than they need to be. So we're going to create some clarity and some confidence for that consumer, so that if anything does come up, they know exactly what's going to happen next, right? And lastly, we're going to survey. We're going to bring up that Zillow will be pinging that consumer about the survey. Just so you know, Bill, Zillow is a huge part of my business, right? In the next 24 hours, they're going to be sending you over a quick little survey asking about the level of service I provided on this call. Unfortunately, it will only let you give me up to 5 stars. That's a joke. You want to make it a little funny at that point. So I'd really appreciate if you could fill that thing out and let me know if you have any questions, right? Consumer at that point is expecting the survey. So we're going for that high CSAT score, and that's going to happen more likely at that point. And lastly, we are going to say our name one more time before the call ends. Again, my name is Chris Gianos, your Zillow Premier Agent here with the A.L.M.S.S team. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If not, I will talk to you soon, right? We're going to end it right then and there on the spot. and we are going to be off to the races at that point. If you want this exact script, all you have to do is click the link in this post, give me your email address so I can actually send it to you. I promise I'm not going to spam you. And that entire script and exactly how we do it will be emailed to you instantly. Hope this was valuable. If you have any questions about Zillow Flex or anything pending, I'm your guy. Shoot me a text message, DM, whatever you got, and we'll go from there.